네.
감사합니다. 네. 음.
Why are we recording it? 안녕하세요. Hello. Okay. 네, 안녕하세요. Okay. Can you ask if we can test a couple of the video and stuff?
Yeah, sure. I think you can just go ahead and just do that. You guys have to share, right? Yeah.
So we do have to share. Let's see. Just let me know if you can hear the sound as well. Joe's going to be showing this documentary for divided families. So I'm hoping at this moment you can hear that audio.
Can you wait? Can you try to mute yourself and then play the video again?
Okay, yeah. I think it's because it's playing from the. Yeah, I got it. Can you hear that audio or?
No, I cannot hear that again.
Okay, let's see. Let me just maybe change the screen sharing settings. Jung. Share sound. Oh, there we go. Share sound. Fidelity. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I hear.
Okay, great. So I'll just stick around and make sure that Doe is able to share this. But other than that, I'm just going to share this presentation. You're able to see this, right?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. So, yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm Dave, by the way.
Dave, okay.
I'm Doe's legal assistant, but helping
I
out
see.
with the videos. So nice to meet you. 안녕하세요.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Donggon Kim. I am the president of Hwarang Youth Foundation. The kids who will be joining today.
Cool. Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice
안녕하세요,
to meet you.
Miss Won. Yeah, so we'll just wait until Doe's back, and yeah, I'll be here to help set up. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hope your summer is going well and been having a good experience with the KNA seminar series. And you guys are learning a lot? I didn't hear an answer, Sai.
Yes, we're learning a lot.
Okay, good. I don't know what the director is on. I don't know how many students will be on today, but I wanted to just ask, would it be okay if I went over about 15 minutes? Because there's a documentary that I want to show. It's actually about 15 minutes. And, I wanted to just do a short presentation afterwards and then do some Q&A. Would that be okay? People can stick around for about 15 minutes more?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be fine. I'll also inform like people who have to leave early. Then I feel like well, it'll be unfortunate, but like I think most of the people can stay. So
Okay,
you can just
okay.
take.
Yes, that'll be great. Thank you, because I know the documentary that I'm going to show, it's about 15 minutes. So instead of cutting it down to 30, I think it'd be great to kind of see the entire video. So even if you have to leave a little end before around the Q&A, that's still okay, because at least you saw the entire documentary. And then you can kind of get a good sense. Okay.
We're supposed to have like a number of about 50 to 60 students joining today.
Okay. Wow.
Just
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, so I'll just send like a reminder message to the people who haven't joined yet, and it would be nice if
Yes.
in like about like 5 minutes. Sorry, like five.
Yes, that'll be awesome. And yeah, we'll get started in a little bit, okay? Um, so today, I'm going to talk about something that, many of you probably have not thought about. It's called divided families. Does anybody know what divided families stands for? Alicia? No?
Families that are divided by the
Yes.
families.
Yes. Do you know which families I am talking about? Daniel?
It doesn't have to do with families that are in poverty.
Okay. All right. Well, we're talking about divided families after the Korean War. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so after
So like after the war.
yes.
So
So,
like
after
short
the
families,
war,
right?
there were all these Korean families, a lot of people were a lot of families were trying to come to the South, and, they kind of escaped from the North, and then their families were divided, right? You couldn't go into North Korea or South Korea. And so there's all these families that were divided. So that's part of our history. And so that's what the documentary is about. And it tells some really powerful stories. And I hope that you can kind of learn from their stories, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do after the documentary, because it pretty much tells you everything about divided families. But then I'm just going to talk for about 5-10 minutes afterwards, give you some additional facts and things to maybe kind of give some context. And then I'll just open it up for Q&A afterwards, okay? So why don't we do that? And if it is okay, if Donggun could let me share the video. And I hope the video, sometimes videos, they kind of click, they kind of don't go too well on Zoom, but I hope it will be okay on Zoom, okay? Hopefully, yes? Yes, hopefully it won't kind of jam up, but let's see. So Tungu, can I show the documentary now?
Yeah, I think it would be great. Guys, I want to give an announcement that this meeting, this session today might extend 15 minutes more than expected. So if you have like an urgent business to go like after the hour, then you can just like tell me through chat and then leave. But if not, I really advise everyone to stay back and enjoy the whole webinar. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so I think this is it. And if you need the volume to be louder, please let me know. How is the sound? Okay?
언제나 그리움던 오빠야 꿈결에도 보고 싶던 오빠야 우리 형제 찾기 위해 눈물 흘리
Can you see? Okay.
오빠야 오빠야 사랑하는 오빠야 언제나 어디서나 잊지 못할 오빠야. Lots of green beans. These are a little too old, but we'll eat them anyway. My name is Chahi Stanfield, but I'm known as Chahi Lee in the Korean American community. In 1992, my nephew, who is a Methodist church minister, went to North Korea and found out that my father had passed away. I have a brother living in North Korea. His name is Hee Lee. I believe he's in his 70s. Several years ago, I received a letter from him. Since then, I haven't heard from him, so I'm not sure whether he's still alive. I think it might be enough for lunch. These will be wasted though. They are already too old, so they'll be wasted. So. During the Japanese occupation of Korea, my family lived in Manchuria, China. When Korea became independent, we decided to return our hometown, which was Daegu City in southern part of Korea. My father and one of my brothers, Hee, stayed there to wrap up the business. They were supposed to meet us in Daegu City in a week or so. I remember the moment when I saw my father last time. It looks like we had a whole part of the train bus, and my mother had a baby, who was my younger sister. So I remember my father was arranging the seats so that everybody could lie down or sit comfortably. And that was the last time I saw him.
Seoul was celebrating freedom after 40 years of Jap rule. Japanese had occupied the country for most of the 20th century. And then after the war, there had to be an agreement between the Americans and the Soviets about how the peninsula would be divided for the purpose of taking the Japanese surrender. So after the Japanese surrendered in August of 1945, the Americans had to decide where was their zone of occupation going to be. And that fell to two young military officers who basically took a National Geographic map and simply decided that the 38th parallel was going to be the division of the peninsula. But it did mean that Korea, including South Korea, was subjected to a hostile occupation, which seems strange given that Japan was the aggressor in the war.
The division of Korea and the Korean War polarized Korea into two hostile camps. Here was a people who had been for over 1,000 years a single people who all of a sudden were not only divided but were in a sense indoctrinated into the ideologies of two very separate and different superpowers.
This picture might be about 78 years old or 70, almost 80 years old. So these are all the pictures. This is what Ung-hee sent through Sanhyap. And it says Sang-mun-lee, who is 73 years old now, but he still competes with the young people in the marathon race, covering the regular distance with a good result. So this is a good picture. And I like this picture. He looks like a Sanhyap, doesn't he?
Mm.
Yeah, he looks a lot like a Sanhyap.
Who got his ears?
His ears. That's U.S. Samcheon got these big ears.
I never noticed them.
Okay, next time when you see him, pay attention to his ears. It's just like it's just big ears like this. We tease him a lot. Look at this one. This is Ung-hee and the Sanhyap. And Ung-hee's son. He doesn't look like his father, but he looks like Sanhyap, whom didn't even know who was existing.
Mm.
And then that's Grandpa, my father. I didn't understand why they couldn't come to South, like millions of other North Koreans did. Later on, I found out that when he was taken to the North Korean army, my father couldn't leave him alone to join us in the South. So my father went to North Korea in 1950, but that was the year when the Korean War broke out. Three of my brothers fought for South Korea, while Ung-hee fought for North Korea. So the brothers fought fought against each other literally. And one of my brothers, Kuki, was killed.
U.S. Army, they usually come with the plane, B-29 plane, and they bombing in the city of the Pyongyang. And what they do is they bombing, cross the city, and like zigzag whole city, and the bomb, drop the bomb, and then they explode about 20 foot high, and kill all the people around, scenery. I saw a lot of bodies when I was young, all over.
How old were you then?
10.
This was an incredibly bloody war, and the great irony of it is that the peninsula was initially divided at the 38th parallel, and after 3 years of fighting, it was still divided roughly at the 38th parallel. And it was during the back and forth of that war, in which the North Koreans initially invaded the South and were quite successful against a weakened Southern force and weak American forces who had pulled out of the peninsula between 1948 and 50. That's when the movement of people on the peninsula began. And already before that, wealthy individuals in the north, landowners, had already started to move south because of the fear of expropriation of property. But North Korea also housed, the northern part of the country that is, also housed a number of people with very strong religious convictions. So religion was also a factor in those that fled to the south.
Our forces in the west pulled back to the south.
In the fall and winter of 1950, with the UN retreat, families in many cases sent their stronger, younger, often male members south with full intention of joining them in a few weeks. And so they, in a sense, said goodbye to each other in 1950, in the winter of 1950, saying, "I'll see you in 3 weeks." And that 3 weeks or 2 weeks has become 60 years.
Come here. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. I go heavy. You are heavy, yeah. Why you are so heavy? You eating good? They're gonna be pumpkin. Yeah. Yeah, soon, when the flower die, and it's gonna come up, the pumpkin coming up from here. 145대 때 내려올 때, 이 미군들하고 같이 우리가 후퇴를 했죠. 근데 나는 먼저 떠났기 때문에 그 상황을 잘 모르지만, 나중에 들은 이 얘기로는, 이 할머니가 남자애들은 위험하니까 도망가고, 그냥 여자들은 누가 아무리 공산당이라도 다치지 않는다. 그러니까 놔두고 그냥 남자애들만 데리고 가라. 그래가지고 할머니는 집에 남아서 집 지키는 걸로 집 지키고 있겠다고 이렇게 얘기해서 그냥 남자들만 데리고 다 나온 거죠. 그때부터 이제 비극이 이제 시작된 거죠. 이산 가족이 그때부터 이제 일어나기 시작했죠. We're gonna have firework tonight here. Okay. Eh? So you're gonna watch the firework with me, okay? Okay. This is my wife.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
That's Lori and Annie.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm out. She has been talking to you.
Yes, I heard you do a good job.
She's nice, right?
Yes.
David. Lori. He has been talking to you. Yeah?
부모님들이
남아한 다음에 많이 울었어요. 밤마다. 근데 나는 그 당시에 어렸으니까 그걸 느끼지를 못했는데 내가 지금 애들 내 자녀들을 갖고 있어 보니까 그 얼마나 부모들이 그 고통스러웠겠냐. 그것을 내가 지금 와서 느끼는 거라고.
Even at the height of the Vietnam War, North and South Vietnam exchanged postcards with family information on them. It was a very abbreviated way of communicating, but at least people were able to keep up with who died, who was married, who was born. But the border between North Korea and South Korea never allowed for that kind of exchange of information. So it's almost like dropping a curtain, say in Washington, D.C., across the Potomac River. And whoever happened to be in the west side would never hear of what happened to the people in the east, and vice versa.
우리 누나가 나보다 6년 위인데 내가 하이스쿨에 들어갔을 때 이 위에 하얀 셔츠를 우리 누나가 집에서 미싱으로 자기가 손수해서 나한테 입혀줬어. 우리 엄마보다도 우리 누나가 자기 동생이 하이스쿨 들어가서 너무 좋아가지고 자기가 선수 그 학교에서 배운 재봉을 만들어가서 나한테 딱 입혀줬는데 딱 맞는 거야. 그게 지금도 그 생각이 우리 누나가 우리 엄마보다도 더 나한테 사랑을 베풀어준 게 그게 지금 내 마음속에 꽉 차 있어. 그래서 누나가 더 보고 싶은 거야. 그래서 생각만 하면 눈물이 나고 그렇다. 너무 그리워. 유일하게 지금 우리 누나가 약혼 때 찍은 사진인데 이게 뭐 오래적 사진이야. 이렇게 예뻤던 얼굴이 지금 얼마나 변했을까. 죽었으면 어떻게 죽었을까. 만약에 그 사람들이 학살했다면은 그거 아마 알 수 없을 거로 본다고. 무덤도 없을 거고 그렇게 내가 생각이 돼요. My wife's parents, everything. 너 알 수 없어. 이북에서 혼자 왔거든. 자기 시스터하고 혼자 둘이 왔는데 My wife the same thing. 알 수가 없어. 부모들이 살아있는지 없는지 모른다.
이게 지금 고려대학이야. 기숙사. 내가 거기 여자대학교. 내 기독병이 있었는데.
몇 년도인 거예요?
이게 그러니까 지금으로부터 40년 전이니까요. 오라버니는 안록강 거기 건너가 있었고 우리 남동생은 중학교 때 붙들러 갔고
어디로?
군인으로 인민군들이 데려갔지. 그러니까 나는 밤새도록 어머니를 저게 이렇게 마음을 돋궈줬거든요. 같이 합시다. 같이가 사는 사람들도 같이 떨어지지 말고 삽시다. 그렇게 해서 같이 가자 그랬는데 아침에 와서 그 얘기하니까 나는 못 가겠다. 어떻게 아들 둘 다 내놓고 나 혼자만 살겠다고 가느냐. 집에 들어온 청년들을 맞이할 생각하니까 못 가겠다 이렇게 되는 거지요.
네, 장로님은 이제 그 지금 찾으시는 누님을 다시 만날 수 있을 거라고 생각을 하세요?
생각을 합니다. 그런 생각합니다. 죽지 않고 살았으면 생각하는데 저도 뭐 죽지 않고 살았으면 만나겠지 언젠가는. 그 누님도 제가 잘 알아요. 학교도 같이 다녔으니까. 우리 오빠하고 큰오빠하고 같은 반이고.
같은 고향에서 이남까지 이렇게 나왔기 때문에 그 서로의 그 고통과 그 슬픔은 같이 나누고 있고 그 어려운 가운데서 우리는 부모님이 다 나왔단 말이야. 근데 이 여자는 아버님하고 동생하고 손목 잡고 오다가 무지 고생을 많이 한 거예요. 얘기 들으니까. 나보다도 훨씬 용감하다. 그런 생각이 들었어요. 그래서 내가 그런 점을 내가 포인트를 두고 그러면 결혼해 주겠느냐 그랬더니 해주겠다. 그래서 결혼하게 됐어요.
Hi, sweetie. Hi. Hi, Melissa. Hi, how are you?
It's nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
How have you been?
Okay.
Are you enjoying your retirement?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. 네, 안녕하세요. 오래간만입니다.
오래간만입니다.
When I moved to Albany Park, a group of elderly people organized to support me and my Korean collection. Most of this group were from North Korea, and I realized that there are so many people around me who were suffering because they didn't know what happened to their family members in North Korea. I knew it was urgent, but I really didn't know how to start. Someone had to start it, but it was just too big issue for me. Oh, this is a encyclopedia. We are the only library which has this collection in the Midwest. Prime Minister Kim Il-sung had an idea about producing extensive encyclopedia about North Korea. When I was here, I did a publicity on this, and people just came in almost several a day, and some of them wanted to see the information about their hometown. Strange thing, strange about this one. While I was taking the applications from the divided families from all over the country, they remember their hometown addresses. It's usually long. It's not as simple as the addresses in South Korea. Those addresses are long, but they remember, every one of them remembered their hometown address. And I don't know exactly the place where my father lived, but he lived in Kaesong. In the winter of 1999, I was helping someone holding a seminar where a young man named Mark Kirk and chair of foreign affairs were there. So at the conference, I learned that Mr. Kirk had been to North Korea twice. And I felt that, okay, he might be the right person to start with. So in March 2000, I went to see him with my family picture.
Jahi is a force of nature. She is an inspiration. an unbelievable dynamo of energy and has become the face of this movement to reunify over 100,000 of her relatives, neighbors, and family members with their relatives in the DPRK. We know that we have over 100,000 American citizens who have relatives there. We know because of the income differential between the DPRK and the USA, there's a tremendous capability in the United States to fund and support this effort. We have established the official channel through the commission, and we have the registry to make it easy for the first test cases. The difficulty of all these efforts has been to break this loose from the up and down cycle of US DPRK relations. It is feasible because we did this with the Soviet Union. Originally, when we were dealing with refuseniks, these are Russian-speaking Jews in the Soviet Union, it was always linked to other superpower issues. But eventually, with enough pressure and organization, we broke them loose and started to get a regular flow of human contact and dialogue. That's what should happen here. Things actually got pretty good between the DPRK and the United States in 1997, 98, and 99. And so discussions like this look like they had real promise. I'd like to get back there.
How much time would you say we do have?
We have 10 to 15 years left before just about everybody who has a direct relative would have passed on. 60 years is already too long. This should have been done long ago.
Are we going to keep it or you want to throw it back?
Oh, we're gonna take him. He's gonna eat it.
Are you going to clean it?
No. This is best. What is, yeah, it's a good size. Hey, this is not bad. This is what, catfish?
Grab him tight. No, that's a bass.
Yeah, this is good size. Usually they're small.
Very proud of her. Very proud of all the work she puts into that. I mean, she really is devoted to trying to somehow get some kind of resolution while a few of these people are still alive. It's been rough seeing the toll it takes on her. You know, it's very emotional, takes a lot out of her. I see her working on the computer all the time and writing speeches, asking me for help with English from time to time. Just year after year going on, and it's so frustrating for her. I don't know how she stays with it, but she does.
She's not feeling well. Last time when I spoke with her, she just didn't want to see anybody. She didn't want to talk about her children anymore. She said that she just wanted to go. She feels that that's the only way she could meet her husband and the children all together. She feels that her kids have been all dead from starvation. But I showed her an article about 98-year-old man who wrote a letter to Congressman Honda urging him to work on this, our issue. So she said, she read it. He said, is that correct? It says 98. Yes, that's correct. And for him, you're a kid. So she smiled. Then gradually she started, she looked like she was feeling better. And physically she looked a lot healthier. She could do it.
네, 한자 걸어요.
그렇죠. 네, 오케이.
교회도 가는데요.
아, 그러세요?
이거 안 가져가요, 교회.
아, 네, 그거 좋습니다. 자꾸 그러셔야지. 네, 그러시. 그 김흥남. 김덕자.
예.
김
신자.
김신자. 근데 모두 어린이였죠.
우리죠.
모두 그때 할머니 말씀으로는
예.
2살, 5살, 7살 그러신데 그때
그랬을 거예요.
네. 희망을
포기 뭐 돈이 없으니까 포기했죠. 돈이 없어서.
돈이 없어서. 그 돈만
네.
만약 돈이 많으셨다면
포기 안 하죠.
어떻게
어떻게든 찾아보지.
어떻게라도 찾아보시려고. 네.
사람을 내서 저도 찾아볼 수 있고.
아하, 돈만 많았으면. 그런데요, 네. 그 돈 많은 사람들도 못 찾은 사람들이 많으세요. 그 애들 꿈꾸는 때가 있으세요?
있죠.
있어요.
만날
네.
거죠.
만날 꿈꾸세요.
그럼요. 지금은 근데 꿈에 한 번 갔는데 애들이 없어요.
꿈에 한번 그 옛날 집에 가셨어요?
갔는데 애들이 없어.
네.
애들 어디 갔나니까 산에 갔대요.
산에 갔대요.
갔는데 막 눈이 막 눈이 오는 거야.
네.
그래서 난 눈길을 헤치면서 애들을 부르면서
산으로 가다가 깨셨군요. 힘들죠. 꿈 깨고 나면 밤을 꼬박 새시죠.
지금도 만날 꿈꿔요.
만날 꿈꿔요.
만날 그냥 그거 만날 걷는 거야요.
만날
한
애들
달에 한 달에 한두 번은 가요.
그지? 꿈에 한 달에 한 번씩 고향에 가시는군요. 애들 찾으러.
Because Canada has relations with North Korea, and therefore contacts between North Korea and Canada are easier. Some people will try the pro-North Korean organizations in Canada to broker a meeting for with their divided families. People who don't go that route may go to China, and there are all sorts of brokers in China who will gladly offer to put you in touch with your relatives. I have heard of cases where people paid $90,000. I have known personally of a case where someone paid $40,000. But as a rule, divided family people are really at a disadvantage because there's this enormous emotional concern on their part, and the brokers usually know this, and in too many cases they're simply ripped off.
예? 총각김치. 예? 끝? 제가 한 2년 전에 내가 한번 다시 알아보자 그래가지고 가나다에 있는 단체가 있는데 그 단체에 가면 좀 이렇게 찾아볼 수 있는 길이 있을 거라 이렇게 누가 이 얘기해줘 가지고 제가 카나다까지 가서 제가 그 모든 것을 인포메이션을 갖다 드리고 좀 찾아봐 달라고 했지. 2월 달에 그 이북에서 팩스가 날라왔어요. 팩스가 날라왔는데 그 내용이 뭐냐면은 우리 동생 둘 원자 원실이가 사망했습니다. 2주 후에 다시 이북에서 팩스가 날라왔다고요. 날라왔는데 거기에 원자 원실이 두 동생이 살아있으니 김정일 생일에 와서 만나보도록 하십시오. 이렇게 저기 팩스가 왔더라고요. 우리 부모님들이 그렇게 그리워하던 딸들이니까 그건 내가 가서 만나줘야지.
When he had left for North Korea to see his sisters, I had asked him to cut hair. He might have been thinking, he might have been thinking something else, but I was thinking, get their hair samples so we could do a DNA test when you get back to make sure that it's them, because let's face it, 57 years, you get a call saying that your sister, who you haven't seen for all those years, is alive. Well, first the call was that they're dead, but he wanted it to be true. You know, I think we all did.
이것이 평양역입니다.
여기가
배 있는데. 배 있잖아요. 좀.
네.
해가지고 이렇게 배를 대고 있다고.
이 정도 되는 것 같아. 여기 57년 전에 대동강다리가 꺼내졌을 때 여기서 배를 타고 피난 갔던 장소.
이 미군이 후퇴하면서 대동강다리를 부셔놨어요. 그 대동강다리가 부셔지니까 그 북쪽에 있던 사람들이 남쪽으로 건너올 수 없으니까 뭐 아수라장이 된 거라고요. 거기에 조그만 배들이 있는데 그 배로 이제 사람들을 날르고 그랬는데 그 식구들이 전부 다 나와 봤더니 너무 사람들이 많으니까 같이 행동할 수는 없고 그래서 우선 저는 그때 아주 약바른 어린이였으니까 나 혼자 그 배를 탔습니다. 배를 타고 대동강을 건너가 가지고 아무리 기다려도 이게 식구들이 안 나오는 거라고요.
요새는 그 매실이라고는 없죠?
없어요. 아니, 작은 배가 있습니다.
있어요?
예, 우리는 매생이라고 하지 않고 쪽배.
쪽배.
쪽배 뭐.
거기 한 4명밖에 못 하지?
네, 그렇죠.
그래. 대동강다리. 여기서 다 헤어졌다고. 식구들이. 예? 내가 먼저 뱃에 있고 저기 건너간다고. 그러니까 아버지가 뱃사공 보고 내 아들 일로 다시 데려오던가 나를 저기서 보내달라. 그래가지고 아버지하고 우리 큰형하고 둘이서 타고 또 건너와서 나를 만나가지고 셋이서 먼저 피난 가고 그리고 할아버지하고 어머니하고 그 다른 형제들은 다시 집으로 다 들어갔다가 다시 나올 때 그 딸들이 그 할머니가 너희들은 집에 있으라 그래가지고 거기서 해준 거라고. 그래서
쪽배 있잖아.
예.
그래서 대답해야 되는 거.
저쪽에 옛날에 이거 전부 다 모래사장이었다.
그 안주에 4층짜리 호텔이 큰 거 있는데 그 안에 이제 그 동생들하고 식구들이 전부 다 있다고 해가지고 들어가는데 그 저쪽에서 사람들이 확 몰려오면서 오빠 그러는데 얼굴이 보여야지. 근데 막 나를 껴안고 막 그냥 우는 거라고요. 처음엔 만나기 전에 정말 이게 우리 동생일까 여러 가지 의심스럽게 생각했고 이거 어떻게 하면 정말 우리 동생이라는 걸 알 수 있을까? 바로 동생이 정말 우리 동생이 맞아요. 왜냐하면 동생의 그 모습, 이 얘기하는 거 모든 것이 어머니하고 똑같더라고. 그리고 거기서 3일간 같이 지내면서 여러 가지 이 얘기하고 이 얘기 스토리 뭐 할머니 이 얘기 뭐 고모 이 얘기 이런 것들이 전부 다 이제 나오는데 내가 아는 사실을 얘기한단 말이에요. 예. 그래서 참 3일 동안 걔네들하고 같이 잘 지냈어요.
오빠와 기쁨의 상봉을 하고 이렇게 헤어지자니 눈물이 앞으로 가게 됩니다. 언제나 그리웠던 오빠야 꿈결에도 보고 싶던 오빠야 우리 형제 찾기 위해 눈물 흘린 오빠야 오빠야 사랑하는 오빠야
너희들이 그 이제 머리카락을 잘라주면은 내가 부모님 산서에 가가지고 그 산서에 심어 놓을 테니까 너희들 머리카락을 잘라라. 그랬더니 자기네들이 다 잘라가지고 봉지에다 이어가지고 날 주더라고요.
So that's what he did. He came home, he took the hairs samples, and he came here and he buried it here with them. There's so many sad parts about this that really can't be mended. I mean, there's the physical aspect of they're always going to be there, and they're in the late stages of their lives right now, so that's never going to change. I mean, they're never going to be able to be that like physically be together like that family.
그거 누르지 마자. 그냥 아까 저기 안 됐으니까
다 안 됐어. 아까 우리 때문에 안 됐단 말이야.
다시 울어.
아까 너무 울어서 안 했단 말이야.
잘들 있어요.
같이 만나요.
자, 이제 웃으라요.
건강하게 더 지내시네.
네.
몸도 건강히.
네.
내가 또 가서 형님들한테 가서 안부해야 되니까.
울지 말라 엄마 자꾸.
어머니 아버님 잘 보살피고 이모 잘 보살피고.
네, 알겠습니다.
오케이. 그리고 뭐라고 그랬어 내가?
약속은 내놓는 늘 지키겠습니다.
뭘 무슨 약속이야?
담배는 끊으라는 거.
술은
조금 먹으라는 거.
됐어.
어머니 아버지 내가 좀 짜증나고 이야기해주세요. 형님한테 가서 정말
알겠어. 잘 들었어. 건강하고.
오빠 이제부터 우리 생활을 봤으니까 하나 걱정하지 말고 그저 오빠 나 건강해서 오래오래 안정해 지라요. 큰 오빠 더 늙기 전에 한번 오시라.
내가 여기서 부르는 노래가 이게 전파를 타고 저 북녘 땅 내 누나에게 이게 들리면 얼마나 좋을까. 누나 보고 싶어요. 내가 지금 여기 있는데 누나는 지금 어떻게 됐나요? 얼만큼 늙었습니까? 얼만큼 늙었을까? 이렇게 비참하게 늙었을까? 곱게 늙었을까? 곱게 늙을 리는 없어. 고통 가운데 있었으니까. 근데 그게 이제 늘 보고 싶다. 오늘이 안 되면 내일 안 되면 다음날, 금년 아니면 내년 이루어질 수 있기를 바랍니다. 만약에 누가 지금 멀리 갔는데 소식이 없다. 우리는 즉각 그 소식을 알기 위해서 얼마나 애를 씁니까? 만약에 오늘 같이 있었다가 어제 나갔는데 안 들어온단 말이야. 그러면 폴리스에 얘기해가지고 내 형제 누가 어디 나갔는데 지금 찾을 길이 없는데 좀 찾게 해달라고. 이렇게 우리가 잠시 동안에도 그런 어려움이 있는데 하물며 우리가 이 오랜 세월 동안 내 형제 자매를 그 생사를 알지 못한 것에 대해서는 이 이상 인류의 비극이 더 이상 없다 이 말이지. 그러니까 우리는 그 일을 위해서 우리가 생명을 다할 때까지 이 일을 추진해야 돼요. 기필코 해야 됩니다.
when my nephew Sanyap was in North Korea, Unghi told Sanyap, my father tried very hard to get on magazine articles and a lot of publications to let us know in South that he was in North Korea. My father realized he had a long, difficult road ahead of him to reunite with his family. At the age of 54, he started running marathons. Later, he became well known as an athlete, educator, and an inspirational speaker. They called him Cholima Harabaji. Cholima is a legendary horse which runs long distances. Harabaji means grandpa. At Prime Minister Kim Il-sung's request, they made a movie about him, about his life. It was entitled Lee Sang-mun, the 60-year-old youth. My father thought he could beat time as long as he could run. But it wasn't so. He wanted to beat death, as he has done so many obstacles in his life. But in the end, like so many millions of divided family members, he yielded to death.
날개까지 들어오시는 저 준비된 모습을 보십시오. 일찍이 수상님께서 60청춘 90안갑이라고 하신 말씀대로 노인님은 저렇듯이 먼 옛날에 잃어버렸던 청춘을 우리 제도하에서 도로 찾으셨습니다. 아버지! 삶에 대한 뜨거운 정열과 긍정으로 하여 발도 땅에 닿는 줄을 모르신 노인님은 지게를 져도 비닐만 치는 시간이 아까워 노상 달리셨습니다. 마지막으로 천리마의 기상 드높이 모든 사람들이 들끓는 우리나라.
I'm proud of myself. Either I have achieved it or not, it's another matter. But I've tried, and I'm trying. I'm trying hard to get these elderly people to know what happened to their family members, to get them reunited, if possible, before they pass away. If I achieve this, that will be the proudest moment of my life.
Hello, everyone. So yes, that was the Divided Families film that was made by Eugene Chung and Dr. Jason An. They actually were not filmmakers, but I know that they were both, I know Dr. Jason An was going to medical school at the time, and he was very moved by what was going on with divided families, which is why he decided to work on this film. Uh, I wanted to just maybe just kind of go over a few slides with you. Nothing major, but just a few slides. Let me see if I can share the screen a little bit here. Can you see this slide here? Yes? Yes, okay. Nobody's talking, so I can't hear, but I'm going to assume that you could see this. So I think you already have a lot of context about what happened. But of course, Korea was divided along the 38th parallel. And during that time, even before the Korean War, after World War II, the division was set on the 38th parallel. But I think even after the Korean War, that parallel continued. And so that's something very to kind of like, there were 10 million family members that were divided. And so you can imagine having 10 million family members that were divided across the 38th parallel in North and South Korea, that could really affect not just family, but Koreans as a whole in terms of our psyche, in terms of who we are as a people. And it's very traumatic. There's a lot of trauma that Koreans have felt because of the Korean War, World War II, Japanese colonization, but also with the divided families. Uh, I was able to find some statistics as of January of 2024. There are about 39,300 family members in South Korea who are still divided family members that are separated by the Korean War. Okay, but a lot of the divided family members, they're now very old, now almost into their 80s, 90s. And so many of them are passing away now. There's not that many divided family members still left in Korea and also in the United States. There are still some, but they're slowly passing away. So this issue is not gaining as much traction because family members are passing away. One of the things that you heard is that Chahi Stanfield, she said that her family is from Kaesong, North Korea. KW Lee, which is the center that I am with, the KW Lee Center for Leadership, is also from Kaesong, North Korea. And so we kind of share that tradition with her. And I first met Chahi in probably around 2013. And that's when this movie first came out, around 2013, 2014. And I met her at the Congressional Auditorium in Washington, D.C. And that's when I also met the movie makers, Dr. Jason An and also Eugene Chung. Two really wonderful people that worked so many years just to make this documentary and to tell the story of divided family members for Koreans. Some of you may already know that since 2000, there have been some improvements in diplomatic relations between North Korea and South Korea. And there have been divided family members that were able to actually meet. And so North Korean and South Korean government, they were kind of, they wanted the divided family members to meet when it was politically feasible to do so. And so as of today, there's been about 44,000 divided family members that were able to meet at the DMZ or in certain situations where they could actually get together without any kind of political consequences. So these are some of the pictures from that. And lastly, there is a national coalition for divided family members. Chahi Stanfield from Chicago, who's the librarian, she is the founder and the executive director of this organization. And I know they're doing good work, working with a lot of the divided family members from across the country. And just trying to lobby and see if there can be reunification in addition to having divided family members from the United States also meet their families in North Korea. So, and that's pretty much it. I didn't want it to be too long, but I did want to share the entire documentary with you because then you could really see what the issue is about. So I wanted to ask you if you could just tell me a little bit, if you have any questions or any thoughts about the documentary.
What I first thought about the documentary was, I think it was really, it really came to me the part when, the person, what was it? Some of the family members was traveling south first and the rest of them were staying in north, and they promised to meet 3 weeks after, but then it became more than 60, 70 years now, and
Yes.
it came the most to me. And another thing that was really interesting was I saw the American politician. I'm not really sure who he was, but he was saying that it is really plausible that we will be meeting again, and that was like 10 to 15 years from now on. And then judging by like when the film was made, I feel like it has been like about the time,
Yeah.
10 or 15 years past. But then we are still not meeting, we're not still able to meet our divided families, and it is still continuing like this.
Yes.
So that really stood out to me.
Yes, you're so perceptive. You know, I think this film came out around, I want to say about 10 years ago. Uh, yes, I know it took a couple years to make, but I think it came out around 10 years ago, and still, you know, especially in divided families in the United States, have not been able to meet their relatives in North Korea. So it's something that's very sad. Uh, I know there's some from South Korea that have been able to, you know, reunite with their families, but not from the United States. And so I know there's been a lot of pressure trying to do that, but unfortunately, nothing has happened so far, and uh, it's unfortunate as there are more divided family members that pass away, there's less people who there's less incentive to try to make it happen. Yes, any other questions or thoughts about the documentary? Don't be shy. This is a Q&A session, so yes, please ask any questions or just comments.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when I really want to know like what period of time did like the Korean and the both North Korean and South Korean government decided to arrange a meeting for the separate families. So like when was that like
Yes. I think it started in 2000 in the year 2000. And you know, depending on the politics happening at the time, they would meet every year, every other year. So they would try to do that. But you know, sometimes when politics are not very good, then obviously they wouldn't meet. So it kind of worked out maybe every other year. So at least, you know, the governments are trying to do something, but of course, there's still a lot of family members that have not been able to see each other. And you know, just seeing family member for maybe an hour or two is just not enough. So it's just very, very tragic what happened. And
yeah.
yes, you could just raise your hand and you can just ask any questions. Um, and I did see I did see June. So yes, hi June, how are you? June was one of our students from our leadership summer youth leadership program. So just want to say hi to June. No need to be so shy. How are you, June? You doing okay? Having a good summer?
Yeah.
Okay, good to see you. I know that for you know, something that I didn't even know until probably about a year ago is that I knew that both of my mom and my dad, they both grew up without their fathers. And my grandfather on my dad's side, uh, he was kind of sick, and so we know that he had a sickness and he died early. And on my mom's side, I didn't really know, but on my mom's side, my grandfather was actually a teacher. And then after World War II, Korea had some exam that you could take if you wanted to be a doctor. So he took the exam and he passed it and he became a doctor. And he actually set up a clinic, like a hospital. Uh, and during the Korean War, that clinic was bombed. And, I didn't, what I heard from my dad, not from my mom, but from my dad, is that, North Koreans, they had kidnapped him and took him to the north because they needed doctors. And so that's what my dad said. And so you know, I guess yeah, so my family has some connection to that. Um, so yes, just wanted to share that with all of you. And uh, any other last minute questions? I'd love to hear some more questions or thoughts about divided families. Okay, all right. Then I guess if there's no questions, then we'll wrap up. But I will just say this, I know you're with the KNA Memorial Foundation Leadership Program, so I think it's wonderful. I enjoyed speaking with you about 2 weeks ago about the Korean American pioneers. If any of you are interested in a summer leadership program, an 8-week program with the KW Lee Center, we've been running it for about 29 years, since 1995. So you could always find us on the website, okay? kwleecenter.org. And if you're interested, you could apply to that program, okay? So we love to have some students, but it's not going to be over Zoom. It's going to be in person in Koreatown. So we have students from Koreatown, but we have students from all over the place that come, from the Valley, from Cerritos, from La Crescenta, so many places. So we welcome all of you to apply if you have any interest, okay? So we have a high school program and we also have a college program, but you will have to apply earlier on around February or March for that. But you can just find our website and hopefully, if you are interested in our program, you can just apply there, okay? I just want to say uh, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your attention. I know there weren't a lot of questions this time, but I know on the first session, I know there were a lot of questions there. So I appreciate that. And just good luck with your summer and good luck with this program. I hope everything works out. And I hope that all of you will continue to on your own time to learn about your community. It's so important. Your identity is something that is very important and personal to you. And as you get older, I think you already know that being Korean or Korean American is important. But I think as you get older, you start realizing, how important a part of it is to who you are as a person. And so I hope that you will kind of learn more about the history and also learn about some of the challenges as well too. Okay. So just good luck to all of you. Just take care and yeah, thank you for inviting me to chat with you for a little bit. Right. All right. So I think that's it. Tongun, is that it?
Yeah, that is it. Anyone else have like final questions for Mr. Kim?
Hi.
Yes.
I know it's kind of late, but why do you think so many separated families decided to come to America?
You know, I think a lot of Koreans wanted to come to the United States, but I don't know if it was like so many divided family members actually wanted to come. I think there's divided families all over the place. But I think, people came to the United States, uh, after the Korean War, Korea was not doing very well, right, as a country. And then I think we talked about it the last time. In 1965, that's when they changed the immigration laws. immigration laws to allow Asians, Latinos, and African Americans to actually come to this country, right? From 1924 to 1965, Asians were excluded from coming into this country, right? You didn't have Asians coming into this country unless they were students in the 1950s. For almost 40 years, we were not allowed to become immigrants. So 1965, that's when we first started coming. And you can tell some of them can speak English pretty well, which means that they came a little bit earlier, right? So, and I don't know about you guys, we're all in Los Angeles, but some of the Koreans on the East Coast, they could speak English a lot better than us. I don't know why, but it just kind of works out that way. But I know that I came here in 1974 when I was 3. But I think I came with a lot of other immigrants at that time. Um, yes, there are some divided family members here, and I know that they have their own networks, even in Los Angeles, because I have gone to them. But I know that it is, yeah, they're slowly kind of like, they meet every so often, but I know that their members are kind of dwindling. Okay. Thank you, Alicia. Anyone else?
Okay, if not, then I think we can wrap up our seminar. I think everyone can leave. Please say thank you to Mr. Kim before you leave. It was a great lecture. So, yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you next week.
Okay, take care, everyone. Good luck to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. 동근, thank you.
네, 아닙니다. 감사합니다.
네, 원장님 안녕하세요.
네, 오늘도 너무너무 좋은 프로그램.
네, 잘 보셨어요? 어떻게 네.
저희는 진짜 그 세대를 경험한 세대도 아니지만 너무 가슴 뭉클하고 리얼한 세대라서 마음이 무거웠어요.
네.
다시 우리가 그렇게 재할 수 있는 만남이 이루어졌으면 좋겠는데 지금은 양쪽 사우스 코리아, 노스 코리아가 그런 데 대한 노력을 안 하는 것 같아요.
네, 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 좀 어려워요. 네.
너무 지금 시대가 많이 지나다 보니까 이제 돌아가시는 분들도 많이 계신 것 같고 그래서 좀 너무 안타까운 것 같네요. 저는 사실 이거 영상 보기 전에는 이렇게 그 separate 된 그 가족분들이 많으셨는지 잘 몰랐어요. 왜냐면은 제가 그 뉴스에서 봤을 땐 조금밖에 안 나오는 것 같더라고요. 근데 엄청 많구나 이런 거 다시 느끼면서 되게 좋은 프로그램이었던 것 같습니다.
네. 제가 생각할 때 학생들은 이런 divided family issue 잘 몰라요. 그런데 1세들은 잘 아시잖아요. 그래도 저기 2세들도 저기 배워야 된다고 생각해요. 저기 네, 우리 한국 사람들에서 저기 상처 많이 받았잖아요. 네, 가족들이 못 만나고 힘들죠. 네, 그런 스토리도 저기 배워야 돼요. 예, 그 생각해요. 네. 제가 생각할 때 너무 저기 마음이 아프니까 저기 질문 못 한다고 생각했어요.
그럴
네,
수도
맞아요.
있어요. 맞아요.
네, 너무 섭섭하니까, 네.
맞아요. 너무 좋은 프로그램이었고 저희가 이거 이제 웹사이트에 대한민국민의 웹사이트에 이번 여름에 했던 그 세미나 웨비나에 대해서 다 올려놓을 거예요. 그러면 이 하랑 청소년 팀들이 언제든지 들어가서 다시 리뷰할 수 있고
네.
계속 우리 뿌리 교육이지 않습니까? 코리아나 뿌리 교육이니까 굉장히 소중한 교육이었어요, 오늘도.
네, 감사합니다.
Okay, good to meet you. And Tongun, how are you connected with this? How are you connected with this program?
I'm the president of Hwarang Youth Foundation. So I am
okay.
Organization and that's and I was kind of like taking yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yes. Did you come out to the 120th commemoration of Korean immigration to the US at the Korean Educational Center? Did you come out to that? I know Hwarang co-sponsored that.
Yeah, Hwarang I think so sponsored that. I was that can you give me like a was it like
Yes, we had we had 3 speakers, Korean, Latin American, and then African speaker, and they all talked about immigration to the United States.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I think I was there. Yeah, I think
Yes, I was the moderator.
you there. Yeah, you look familiar. Yes.
Yeah, so that's we were, but thank you for coming out for that. There was a lot of students that came out, so that was wonderful.
Yeah, I hope to see you again or whatever seminar that if we're hosting by KNA or like just Hwarang itself. Yeah, we would love to meet you again.
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, if I can help in any way, you just reach out to me. So yeah, good luck to you. And what grade are you in now?
I am turning senior.
Senior, okay. And what school do you go to?
I go to a school in Palos Verdes, so I go to Palos Verdes Peninsula High School.
Oh yeah, yes, I know Peninsula. I think there's a lot of Koreans in Peninsula High School, right?
Yes, they are. There are. It's more Asian populated.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sounds good. Wow, okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, Donggun. It was such a pleasure meeting you, and so glad that you're doing this and being a part of it. So yes, and I want to thank 원장님 for letting me participate this year. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
네.
Yeah.
Okay.
네.
Okay. Take care.
네.
네, 안녕히 계세요. 네.
전화드리겠습니다.